Interesting. I recently watched one of your videos, and it was about digital twins, how AI is using digital twins. It was exciting, but on the other side, it was a bit frustrating. So tell us the pros and cons of using AI in digital twins, and how Concordium is solving this problem.
Well, I followed AI for many years as well, but I've intensified my interest, like everybody else, in the last 12, 24 months, and made a number of investments. One of them is in this digital twin project, and that is really quite interesting because, frankly, maybe 12 months from now, you and I could have this interview, and I could send my digital twin, and it would probably answer at least as well as I can answer, because actually I can put more knowledge into my twin than I have, so I can make my twin represent my personality, represent my experience, but actually add knowledge to it. So that's a super interesting technology that we'll all get to know much more about, and we'll be using more and more for various functionality. You could send a digital twin to take a first meeting or a first job interview as kind of a filtering mechanism. It'll send you a resume of the conversation, but it will be more or less like talking to the person. Now, there's a problem about that, because if I can make a digital twin of me, you could make a digital twin of me if you have access to the right tool. And that is a problem that we will see, I think, escalate and explode over coming years. Deep fakes, fake news, fake representatives of companies and individuals. And there, again, I think it actually fits quite well with Concordium, because we're sort of expanding our ID solutions from individuals to companies, but also to machine IDs and to AI agent IDs, so you actually know who is responsible for this particular AI agent, right? So I think it sits quite well, but we generally, I think there's a lot of need for proof and documentation of various AI models and the data integrity that went into creating that brain in the case of a digital twin. So it actually suits very well to Concordium. So we're going to launch a series of AI-related initiatives in coming months.
So I
think AI is a really big one. I actually think, even though I love the internet, because that's where I made my first career and worked for decades, I actually think this is a bigger development. And some people have called it the last invention we'll ever have to make, right? Because after that, the AI will invent things for us going forward, and I'm pretty sure that will become reality. So is another important thing coming after AI? I'm sure it is, but I think it'll be produced by AI. Of course, you can mention quantum computers, etc., which combined with AI will create entirely new possibilities. If you have computers that can handle thousands or millions of amounts of data and deal with them in extremely short time frames. So I would say the quantum computing aspect is very important, and probably the next big thing after AI. But AI, I think, will permeate everything that we do in the next few years, and 10 years down the line, I think it'll be completely pervasive. You want to have somebody responsible. If an AI starts to speak to people, to represent companies, to provide customer support, provide sales, etc., you want to know who's behind that AI, and a lot of that new legislation is actually around that. How can we be sure who has made this AI? Is it a genuine representative of an individual or a company, or is it a deep fake? Is it somebody else trying to defraud you? And there, the whole thing about machine ID actually plays in very well. So a lot of this AI legislation that's beginning to come out, most notably with the EU AI Act, is actually around responsibility, accountability. How can we keep track of what AI does what, and if it does something bad, who's responsible for it? So that's actually sits quite well with our narrative. Of course, there are other aspects of regulation around AI. What will it be allowed to do? What will it not be allowed to do? But I think it's a very difficult thing to keep up with for regulators. It always takes some time for a regulator to move, and you have to make things law, and you have to implement them. And AI is just moving so fast that I think it's a very difficult task.